The one thing guaranteed in life is death and taxes. And that's finally transferring over to basketball. With the new CBA that CJ McCollum spearheaded as the president of the NBPA, super teams are dead. And the parity era is alive and well. While we've all known how bad the CBA is for retaining championship level teams like the Celtics, who are probably going to have to trade either Porzingis or Drew, and then last summer we saw the Timberwolves trade Cat just to free up tax space and get under the second apron. This is what the NBA was planning for. The last decade we experienced LeBron and the Warriors pretty much dominate the decade, being in the finals for, I believe, the entire 2010s through to 2020. And if you look across the league now, aside from the Thunder, just because they've got so many guys on rookie scale contracts, no one's going to be able to replicate that success anymore. A tricky thing to dissect, because the pros are, every year we don't know who's actually going to win. Like right now, I genuinely don't know. If I had to put money on it, I'd be pretty confident in putting money on the Thunder. But in saying that, I'm not sold, just because they're so young and some games their guys have not shown up. But you can say the same thing for every other team. I think the beauty in the NBA now is that the structure of success is all derived from like budget-friendly contracts, bang for your buck, and not relying on trading for these big guys anymore. So Kevin Durant, I don't think you're gonna win a ring with how the league is shaped up right now. Same with Steph. LeBron, highly doubt it unless someone takes a really discounted contract. Like, the player movement nowadays is so rapid, and the new CBA is encouraging that too. But these teams built via just mainly trades are not succeeding on the biggest stage. The only team that you can point to remaining in the playoffs is obviously the Knicks. But they have like 7 reliable guys, and they heavily lean on 5 of them. So if one of those guys goes down, they're cooked. Completely cooked. But then you look at their opponent, being the Pacers. They're one of the relatively cheaper teams in the NBA, and they're built to long-term compete for at least another 2 years. Just because by then they'll have guys coming off their rookie scale contracts and having to pay them. But when that happens, if everyone's still happy with each other, the team's going to be around for a while. And at the moment, I'd say they are the NBA darlings, given the 3 massive comebacks that they've had, and, you know, the Reggie Miller choke shot. I'm just really happy as a viewer seeing healthy, competitive basketball. And I remember growing up as a teenager last decade, this is a much more enjoyable experience to the basketball fans. The entertainment side of fans, so the Twitter fans, they're not going to enjoy this for the next half decade probably. I imagine eventually we will have some CBA changes, just because once LeBron retires, we're not going to have this face of the league, and there may be a bit of a drop-off. I do think Wemby, whilst he is international, could step up. We don't really know. So there's going to be a bit of passing of the torch happening and a transition. So I think the league will change some things to kind of revert back in some aspects and being not as harsh in the penalties for the second apron. But I think the foundation of what is here now, with the first and second apron, is long term going to be for the greater good of the sport.